You are listening to the podcast of Ice and Fire, episode 98 for the week of February 3rd, 2013. Welcome back, everybody. As usual,
This is Ashley.
This is Amin.
And this is Kyle.
And today we are joined by two special guests from a allied podcast of ours, Sean and Stefan. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Sean T. Collins. I have a blog called All Leather Must Be Boiled at boiledleather.com, and I do co-host the Boiled Leather Audio Hour with my colleague here, who is about to introduce himself. And I write about Game of Thrones and other television shows for Rolling Stone, and I co-wrote the annotated A Game of Thrones with Elio from Westeros and Anne Grohl, the editor of the books, for Subtext, the iPad app.
And I am Stefan Sasse. I am a contributor to the Tower of the Hand. I write the Nerdstream Era blog, and I am a co-host with my treasured colleague Sean T. Collins here for the Boiled Leather Audio Hour. And obviously there is some fanfic to be written about that, I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I can't wait to read it.
It's great to have you guys on the show. I think we have a lot of listeners listen to both our shows. They seem to like both of them. We thought we'd do a boys in boiled leather night, and then Ashley likes guys in boiled leather, especially guys with scars in boiled leather. So she.
What they were going to say? Ashley likes boils. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, you said that wouldn't necessarily be a problem for you, right?
Boils, I kind of draw the line at.
Oh, that's a deal breaker. Okay.
Yeah.
What if it's a tragic past plus boils, though?
It depends on where they are.
Yeah.
You need to find the beauty in the ugliness.
That's right. That's a good point. Yeah, well, I'm one of the fans who listens to. Well, I mean, I record one of them, but I have been listening to you guys since I got into the books, probably, and really started seriously looking around for things to learn more about them. So it's really a pleasure and a thrill to be on the show. So thank you for inviting us.
Oh, it's good to have you here.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. I think Amin has chatted with you guys before, but this is my first time, and I'm.
Yeah, we always hear that he's off chatting with other podcasts, and we're like, what? You're leaving us?
Yeah. Well, in fact, any one of us can guest host another podcast if you two are interested.
Well, Thronecast is courting me, so.
Oh.
We had a piece of fan fiction where I was drawn being sold to Thronecast. So.
No, we'll loan you out for the hour.
There you go.
We should do a broadcast sometime.
Yes.
Nice.
So what we usually do is we have a bunch of food and drinks here to get started. Like we have Dornish Red, Arbor Gold, that sort of thing. I don't know if you've been introduced to Shadow Wine before.
That sounds delicious.
It's a taste you won't forget.
Oh,
got blood oranges. Diet Dr. Pepper is Fabio's usual drink, so we stocked up on that. But one of these days is going to show up, and we got moon tea as well. And,
because these parties get wild.
Looking at the document here, who put vegetarian stuff?
That would be me. That's been one frustrating thing about my Song of Ice and Fire fandom is everyone gets so worked up about the food, and obviously there's cookbooks and so on, but I'm a vegetarian, and it's just like, I'm out of luck. It's lemon cakes and blood oranges or bust. So,
Are there any vegetarian options besides the two you just mentioned in at the Crossroads cookbook or the Feast for Ice and Fire?
I don't know. I've been too scared by
Oh yeah, no. Remember when I was making it, I was saying like, don't, for requests on what to make, don't say meat because I will poison myself if I try that. So there is quite a few of non-meat options.
Okay.
And you never know what's in the bowl of brown. It might be meatless.
Right, that's a good point.
there are vegetarian dishes in there. I remember like seeing them in there. So
okay.
And he
does
a little. What is it, like neeps or whatever?
Oh yeah, neeps.
Actually, I don't think there is neeps.
That's a drop ball, huh?
I'm not familiar with neeps. What are neeps? Because I was
Neeps
just rereading the Mystery Night, and they mentioned neeps at some point during the feast.
Isn't it just turnips?
And Dunk's like, I'll pass on the neeps. So the rutabaga, Swede, turnip or yellow turnip is a root vegetable that originated as a cross between the cabbage and the turnip.
Well, my mouth's watering.
I know.
The hardest thing for me as a non-native speaker is to get all these foods, because this is vocabulary you don't really learn in school or something. Oh. So I really have problems with these passages in the book.
And that's all that George writes is food, so you must be.
Yeah, it's really hard sometimes because I have to make them up in my own imagination, a bit like Peter Pan.
It's okay, we make them up too.
There we go.
Yeah, so that means there's probably like an equivalent of like a novella that it was just completely incomprehensible to you, spread across the 5 books so far. That's how much food writing there's been.
Yeah, more or less. It's really a mystery, big mystery.
There we go. Every wedding scene, Stefan was like, no.
Well, if Linda can skip the red wedding, you can skip over the latest, 14-course meal paragraph-long description.
Yeah, I don't really skip it. It's just I don't understand it.
Then you end up like me, and then you're like, Frey pie, what is everyone talking about? Then you go back, it's like, oh, I missed something big.
I might make an exception to eat Frey pie, I have to say.
Yeah, I'll turn to cannibalism.
Yes.
These bastards at the bad side of it.
Right.
I always
that's the thing. They deserved it. The animals didn't.
It's true.
Yeah, but I don't want any Freys in me.
Hi-oh.
Ashley. Already contributing to boys' night. Yeah.
I was speculating there might be tofu in the UT or something, but maybe we'll hear about that.
Oh, you would think. Yeah, that's a good point.
Who wants boar? Somebody said
that was me. It was the one word I got. No, really, it is all the time when they make these real big animals like the ox that is made by wildlings or boar at Robert's funeral feast. I always think I have never tasted something like that. I don't know how it would taste, but the imagination of such a big beast being roasted is just so manly, and I always hope I will get something out of it.
Is boar still feasted upon anywhere? Like where is? Does anyone still munch on that?
Song of Ice and Fire conventions, probably.
There you go. Is it popular in any cultures?
Not really, I guess. A little bit expensive.
I'll hunt it down.
Yeah, where are there wild boars?
Oh, boy.
Where do wild boars go? It's a big question. Right up.
Where do boars go?
Well, you know what Tywin was doing with them. But anyways,
yeah.
We're gonna skip ahead to we're gonna do a different order of questions here. We'll start with because this is interesting. I think Sean put this in. What's one issue your readers or listeners have given you the most trouble with? And you say mine is my harsh read of Asha. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, a while back, I have like a question and answer feature on my blog, which is on Tumblr. It's one of those things that Tumblr just builds in. And Asha's come up a few times, and I've been pretty hard on her because, for a long time I found the fact that she was a fan favorite a little bit baffling because she was such an enthusiastic raider, essentially. She was all very gung-ho about, invading the North for no real reason other than to conquer things and kill people and take their shit. And I never really saw her as some sort of great way forward for the Iron Islands. She seemed like kind of par for the course to me, and I got a lot of pushback about that, particularly when I added in that one of the things I did find genuinely admirable about her is that she's has maybe the healthiest sex life of any of the characters. She just really enjoys herself and isn't particularly embarrassed about it. It's not sort of a transactional thing where money changes hands or it's done to achieve power over somebody. She just has a lot of sex because she enjoys it. She's good at it. And someone's like, oh, well, you just, you would say that about a woman, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, so there was a lot of combination of factors. And I wouldn't say I've changed my tune, but I've given some more thought to that culture and that family. And, if you compare her to Victarion, say, Euron seems like a special and uniquely crazy case, but compared to her Uncle Victarion or even her father, she's not bloodthirsty in the way that they are. She kind of goes out of her way to avoid committing, what we would consider to be war crimes. I mean, she's an enthusiastic warrior, but she likes fighting people who can fight back. Which is not really something Victarion likes that a lot too, but he has no compunction of tossing civilians overboard and things like that. And, that's not Asha. That's not who she is at all. To the contrary, she works really hard to, preserve the lives of the people that she's taken captive and things like that. So, but I did get a lot of pushback about that. And some of it was tied to the way Tumblr rallies to the defense of female characters. and I understand why, because they do get a lot of hate, and I do think a lot of it has to do with their gender, but not always. And I felt like this was one case where it wasn't that way, and it was kind of a weird communication breakdown. But it ended up being kind of instructive in terms of what to look at with Asha, in contrast to her relatives.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about Asha Kyle? Because I think you said you didn't like her either. Initially.
Well, I'm not so much a fan of the character. But I have no particular reason. She's just one that I read and didn't really interest me all that much. Mm. But I have no ill will towards her character and whatnot. And to go with what you were saying, Sean, she seems like she would be a very focal point for a lot of fans who are looking for a strong female character.
Right.
Whereas the others are very from an old time. Like, yes, Caitlyn is a very strong woman, but she's very old-fashioned in her ways. Whereas Asha is very much a sort of a post-feminist movement sort of woman who is very, I am strong, I am capable of doing this without any male help. I can have sex if I want to have sex because I enjoy it. And she seems like for any type of reader who is a fan of that, who relates to that type of woman, Asha seems to be the only real choice.
Yeah.
To rally behind.
That she's also with the Mormons as well. Those are kind of similar. Like she's hanging out with that Mormon woman now. But
right.
If you show that comparison, that the Mormon women are not going out and raging and pillaging and that sort of thing.
The thing is, Asha kind of comes across as unrealistic, whereas the Mormons don't. They kind of seem like I'm kind of indifferent to Asha because she just kind of is there. Like she doesn't seem real to me. Her character doesn't make sense in George's world so much as the Mormons do.
I thought you would have enjoyed her sex scenes, though.
Well, she's fun to read. I don't dislike her, but it's to me, I just kind of shrug her off when I'm reading her stuff because it's just kind of your standard fair fantasy woman.
When Stefan and I did a whole episode contrasting her with Brienne, and I brought that up that you get to a point where she doesn't quite feel like she fits in that world, given what else we know about the Iron Islands and what else we've seen about women who are warriors or highborn women who kind of strike off on their own. But I think there's the unique thing about her is her family situation. Her mother is mad and absent. Her father is kind of cold and brooding over the loss of his sons who died and his son who was taken away. So to an extent, it's benign neglect that she's able to do her own thing. To an extent, it's the family name, giving her a free pass that other women on the Iron Islands wouldn't have if they tried to do the things that she did. And in part, and this I can't take credit for this, Elio Garcia pointed it out to me when I was complaining about how she was unrealistic. Her father basically claims her and treats her as a son in the absence of his other sons. So she has like the full weight of the Lord of the Iron Islands behind her drive to be independent and to be a warrior and a sailor like men typically are. So she does have like a unique situation that explains part of it. I mean, as you say, like it's not 100% convincing that someone like her would be able to get away with what she gets away with in that culture.
I think part of what bugs me is also that at the same time she does have the stereotypical soft feminine side. I think that's the parts like if you're gonna go full warrior, go full warrior. Don't you do this other female stereotype of always wanting to be the peace bringer and whatnot.
I'm feeling like a little douchebag now, but I always enjoyed her scenes. I never thought about her in these terms. I never felt her unrealistic, but that seems to be a minority position around here.
I think you have to, on the moral scale, and I'm glad that you did, you have to compare her, as you said, to the Greyjoys and not to like our world. And especially the Greyjoys who by necessity have such a crappy home location. They basically have to raid or trade. They haven't made that transition to trading yet like the Vikings did, maybe. But like they can't just sit there and do nothing. They don't have the resources for it. And so compared to the rest of them, she's pretty good.
Okay. I think Amin, you were trying to get out my. Amin was trying to draw out my non-sexual attraction to Asha.
We'll bring that up again in the after show. We'll see if
there's a lot of male fans of her that I happen to not be one. So, but I got nothing against the character.
I'm just saying, if you hold your moral standards too high, you're not going to be able to choose anybody for a relationship. So,
what?
Not in this series.
Kyle, high standards? What?
What are you talking about? Very high standards, but Asha just doesn't do it for me, no.
Okay, let's see what else we got on here. We have a question that I think Sean put up as well related to the Iron Throne. What's the question?
I think the most frequently asked question I get from readers is who will sit the Iron Throne at the end of the story. And sometimes they'll ask, who will sit the Iron Throne at the end of Winds of Winter and things like that. So I thought it might be fun for people to give who they think will, sort of the line of succession, like who are the characters who are going to be sitting in the Iron Throne up through the end of the series, So, like, mine was Tommen, Myrcella, Aegon, nobody / an other, I don't know what, and then Daenerys, and then maybe Sansa at the end. That was my thinking.
Like an other or an other? Like
an other, like an actual other.
Okay.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
That guy that sees Sam in the second season, like that guy.
Yes, him specifically. Yes.
Who just started following us on Twitter, by the way.
Really?
That other, yeah.
They finally got internet up beyond the wall. So you're saying, Ashley, something?
Oh, just wondering if what do you think about that Cersei's prophecy? If you think both Tommen and Myrcella will survive?
Very well possible. It is bleak, I find, because I like Tommen and Myrcella in some way, and it would just break my heart to see them die because they're so innocent children. But they have a tendency, I think, to die.
I think they're doomed.
I think that one of them might become dead to her. I'm starting to follow that thing that not everything happens exactly as prophecy. I think one of them would be like dead to her, like either heard that she's dead or turn away from her. Maybe Myrcella because she's in Dorne. That would still kind of fit the prophecy. Because I don't like prophecies that are exactly 100% right and exactly happen in that order. Unfortunately, that seems to be the way things are going. But
I'm interested what you guys think. What is the fate of Myrcella? Do you think that Arianne is going to try to resurrect her, or I mean, not in the undead cat way, but try once again to sort of raise her to queen of the Seven Kingdoms, or what do you think her part in this story is going to be?
I wouldn't think that Arianne will try again. She's very content with this role, at least in Feast for Crows, basically, because she's so awed by her father's. When she finally sees through what her father's plan is, she says, "Oh my God, he's so clever," and I just don't see her going with that stupid ape shit again. That would be really strange. So I guess that plan is off the books, but there is much more in store for her in Dorne because there's so many players there.
What do you think of a marriage between Aegon and Myrcella?
I don't think he has any interest in a Lannister.
Yeah.
Or a Baratheon.
No?
I think the Lannisters are done. How much more troops do they have? They're on the run now, like ready for the plunder.
But if Tommen bites it, she carries some weight with her for the people who are still faithful to believing they're Baratheons.
You mean after everyone has died and just Myrcella is left, and then they use her as kind of legitimizing paper shield or something?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't fully thought out the theory, but it'd be, I don't know, it'd be a way to get Dorne backing Aegon or something along the way.
I would prefer they would prefer a Dornish person, I think, to marry rather than Myrcella, right?
Yeah,
then they'd have more direct control.
And I just feel like even if Aegon has been trained to be the best possible king, I think trying to marry into the line of the usurper is a bridge too far for him. Particularly when you factor in the rumors, which happen to be true, that she's not even from the line of the usurper; she's from the line of the usurper's wife and brother-in-law. That's I don't even though there might be. One could imagine a situation where Aegon marrying Myrcella could bring peace in some way. I just feel like they will want to rid themselves of the taint of both House Baratheon and House Lannister completely.
I agree with that.
Unless it was like a polygamous marriage, then he could do that. That's what he had multiple wives. Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth it for the main wife. But here, let's flip this question around.
Were there ever polygamous marriages but outside of brothers and sisters?
Yes, I think that's come up recently, but there were kings who had Dornish wives famously, although wait, that doesn't necessarily mean that they also had other wives besides that one Dornish one, does it? I don't know.
I always was under the impression that these polygamic marriages are a phenomenon of the very early Targaryen kings, and that they more or less died out rather quickly.
Yeah. Interesting.
Anyways, just to flip the question around related to Dany, then, as things are now, if Dany ends up on the throne, would you be happy or not?
That depends on her next chapter, I guess.
I agree. It all depends on the journey. How she takes a throne and what happens. If she just got on a dragon, flew over, and like sat on the throne, I'd be like, well, that's not satisfying at all. But if she goes through some trials and tribulations that bring it to a point where I was like, yeah, okay, she certainly deserves that, then I would be behind it.
Yeah, I mean, my big question with Daenerys is, people think that she's sort of born again hard at this point, and she's going to stop all this freeing the slaves nonsense and just kill her way to the Iron Throne. And that's not appealing to me in terms of that character. I don't really think it fits with the message that Martin is sending about this world and about violence and about power and things like that. But it would still be pretty interesting if if the end of the series were some grim thing where it was where the resolution was that she defeated the others, but she's like this awful, bloody, dragon-riding, barbarian who ends up sitting the Iron Throne, and it's like this, grim dystopian future. Like, that would be kind of cool too. So,
yes.
Yeah, I like the Great Council idea. Some people have said that they'll have a council and put more limitations on whoever is on the throne.
Yeah, you just don't know. You don't know if this is like a rebirth of the Targaryen dynasty at its height, or if this is sort of one last hurrah for the Targaryens and for that way of life.
She's going to be like the Justinian of. We don't need somebody who just prolongs the empire or this problem a little bit longer and then fails. We need like a real change.
The thing is, Dany seems so self-entitled with the whole ruling thing that I don't think that, like, she might have a council of advisors, but I don't think she'd actually give power over to a council.
Well, she doesn't even have an heir, so maybe she should think about that.
Just give Jon some time.
Yeah, but Jon's going to be barren now too because of his whole condition.
Do we know that for sure? I thought the other, if
it's
others...
cold, it's going to be cold down there. That's it for the.
That's a good point.
Cold down there.
or maybe he's keeping it on ice, so it's okay.
I remember stating in one of our very early podcasts that Daenerys doesn't really care for much political structure, but one thing is paramount, and that is she is queen. Period. Yeah. Everything else is up for debate, but she's queen, and I guess you can't take that away from her.
Interesting.
Okay, her reformist. Someone has said that. I think maybe, that's come up a lot. But her reformist impulses do not extend to her own right to rule. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Do we have any other comments to this question, or are we moving on?
No.
Okay, so we talked about Tumblr and that sort of stuff, and I mean, Mimi had some hate on there in the past that we've moved on, but in fact, we're finally going to be taking the Tumblr soon. We're going to have our own Tumblr page.
Taking the Tumblr tumble.
Yeah.
All right. Tumble.
Yeah.
Tumble.
Ashley, I heard you worrying in the last show about Tumblr and finding it baffling.
Tumblr scares me. I don't understand how to use it. I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's kind of like LiveJournal, right? I can leave a comment and I'm like, wait, no, there's no comments. I don't where are these? How are people share? I don't, and I click away.
Well, we're going to be inviting you soon to the staff one, so you'll be able to see.
It's super. The one thing I would say is that it's super easy, and it's pretty much what you make of it. There's not really. Like in the music criticism world, for example, like almost every music critic that I read has their own Tumblr, is constantly interacting with other people on Tumblr, and it's all text, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're all just reblogging the same pictures of, Pavement or, whoever it is. Like, it's, they're actually interacting with each other. Pardon?
People who post pictures of their dinner. I don't understand it.
That you see, you can avoid that. You can make it what you want it to be.
That's
you really
Instagram.
Don't need to. And like in A Song of Ice and Fire world, it doesn't need to be all like animated GIFs with like flowing cursive script with some meaningful quote. Or like fan casting the Martells and stuff. Like, you don't need to do that. You can write, so just have faith in yourself.
I'll tell you what Tumblr's.
It's not all the pictures of the characters in Harry Potter houses.
No.
There's like a whole isn't there like a whole Hound Sansa like thing on there too?
Oh, the Hound's a Hufflepuff.
There's whatever you want on Tumblr.
Right.
There's a Tumblr blog for everything in the world. But I'll tell you what it's best for. It's best for porn. And probably Ice and Fire.
That's allowed on Tumblr?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't
This
be
is how
there
much
if it
of
wasn't.
a Tumblr version I am.
No, that's probably why it's kept such popularity throughout the years. But anywho,
well, we're about to get into fighting matchups sort of thing, and but before we get into all that, I just had one more quick question and something that just popped into my head again. We talked about this a few times, but Sean and Stefan, who do you think built the tunnel to Chataya's place?
yes,
That's a good question.
yes, it is. I love this topic.
You posed a question like you are sure it is somebody we should know, like a name that has already been dropped, but I'm not so sure about that.
I like the idea that it's Tywin. It's not something that ever would have occurred to me just because I'm slow and I don't think of things like that. But once it was pointed out to me, it's mentioned a few times, some hand had this tunnel built and, but it's kind of pointedly never said which hand it was.
Yeah. And,
we know a fairly long string of hands back from Jon Arryn. And, Tywin was widowed at, an age where, he would still have sexual needs following that. And his children always sort of point out that, they can't imagine him, doing that sort of thing in sort of a pointedly ironic way if this were the case. So I kind of like it, I like it.
That's a really good idea.
He needed a tunnel so he could go question them,
Yeah, of course.
And he was hand for quite a long time.
Yeah. And I'm sure when you are a hand for so long, there are many questions popping up about the nature of the trade and tax forms and all that stuff you really have to attend to if you have an important office.
I think it is meant to be somebody that we know of or could have heard of. Like I think Tywin is the big candidate, but another one we actually talked about on the podcast is maybe Jon Arryn. I mean, especially consider his house words, right, and his wife. His also as high as honor is too honorable to go there directly. Although he seemed to have gone there to talk about the whole bastard thing, so he wasn't afraid to go in whorehouses for that.
Right.
But for regular meetings, maybe he might have gone there.
Yeah, with little Robert on her breasts all the time, he had to go somewhere else. So.
Hard to say, really.
He was spending so much of his time trying to impregnate Lysa that I don't really see him, stepping out on her very much because it was important. It was basically more important to him that they have a son than it was to her. Yeah. Especially because it was slowly, hurting her physically and emotionally. So I kind of figure that he was relatively faithful. Even if it was a passionless marriage, I still think he probably felt it was important to save himself for her in hopes of producing an heir or a stronger heir than the one he ended up with.
So related to everyone except for Mimi accepts that Tywin was sleeping with whores. Like everyone pretty much accepts that, but it's still
just one of our daddy issues.
Yeah, I still don't. It's still kind of questionable as like whether he actually slept with Shae because it just seems so out of character.
Why? What was she doing in his bed then?
It was questioning.
He questioned her, Shaw. He questioned her.
He's using enhanced interrogation techniques to.
What a pointing day!
Wow.
There's boiled leather involved.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Perhaps he wanted to shame her into submission.
This really is a Guys Night Out episode, isn't it? Yeah. I just walked in the wrong room.
So wait, so he was questioning her, and so he said, "Hang on a second, I have to torture you some more in a little minute."
No, it all goes to that.
But first, let me take a dump.
The Varys plant theory that she was planted there by Varys
at that very moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't get that part. How could Varys plant her and then have all the time to run down the stairs without Shae being like, "Tywin, get out of the bathroom! I've been planning your room."
Because he had wrong shit.
Or he's gonna run away. Or Varys had to do a lot of slippering around down in those tunnels.
That's the problem. It's so difficult to set it up.
Yeah, and Varys also managed to get the chain of office from Tywin around Shae's neck, which seems even more unbelievable.
Well, he doesn't take it with him when he goes to take a shit. Like he leaves it in the room and then
he takes it off.
So Varys planted Shae there, and Shae's like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll just pick up this nice jewelry and put it around my neck."
Well, she does what Varys says.
Because if Tywin steps out a little bit early, that's not going to go wrong.
Yeah.
And besides, I totally imagine Tywin going to sleep and shit with that chain of office,
But it's like, it's just, why did he choose Shae? It's like unless he gets some sort of perverse pleasure out of it.
I think it's that he really doesn't even consider whores people.
It's all the same to him. Like it's all like.
Yeah.
It's just an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right, and once a whore was brought to his attention by virtue of her involvement with Tyrion...
Well, he was paying attention to that trial. He was like, all sorts of things. Hey, let's give that a try.
Right, yeah. I think so. No, I really do think so.
Oh, boy.
But he was so damn intense during that scene. Everyone was laughing, and he was just like frozen and jamming his fingers into his head or something. Like, he didn't seem... I don't know.
That's him, though, man. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have just because I was been rereading the Mystery Knight or whatnot. What is there any possibility of blood raving having been the hand that built the tunnel and part of his network of secrets and spies and things? I mean, there's. Yeah.
But he doesn't seem like the type that would be afraid to. I think we kind of mentioned like he wouldn't be ashamed to go. It's somebody who has like the honor of not going there, and he seems like he's the type that he'd be like,
Wouldn't it be something if it wasn't even built for that purpose, but rather more for the spies? And that's actually kind of like a backup plan as to why it's there. To be, you could just say it's for this reason, but it's really for another reason or something like that.
Absolutely.
Well, but the way he seemed to say it was built for that purpose. I mean, he could have been lying, but it just seems that. I mean, if you're talking about people back then, maybe it was Baylor Breakspear, because he's more the type that would have to hide it. Like he was there long enough. Like we have to go read that article
was
by.
Was Baylor a hand? Breakspear?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was for a while. Like I think we have to go read that article by what's his name, the history guy that does all the history.
What?
Stephen Agwell?
Yeah, he wrote a pretty good like few articles in Tower of the Hand about the various hands. So if we want to, because we have this big gap, we're like, okay, who are the hands? Like you got to read that article to.
Oh, interesting.
But okay. Yeah. Anyways, let's just jump into the fights here. So.
Alrighty, man.
This is going to be just like fast, quick. We're just going to go through them. Just give your quick opinion or.
Yeah, right. That's not going to happen.
All right, starting with Jaime against the Hound. Go.
Jaime.
Jaime.
In his present condition?
No, we're going to go with start of Game of Thrones. Let's say that. Start of Game of Thrones.
Start of Game of Thrones. Okay. Yeah, Jaime.
Yeah, go with Jaime.
And why? All three of you say Jaime.
Yeah.
Even though Jaime's always like talking good things about the Hound the whole time.
Yeah.
Jamie's the. Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be rough stuff. Like, I think it's a Tower of Joy level, slugfest. But I just think Jaime. Yeah, I just think Jaime has, is a superior swordsman. So, all things being equal, I think he takes it.
I think if Sandor had a reason to really want it, then he would be pushed to the point. But I think if it's like a turning or something, it would be Jaime.
Oh, we're not talking about turning. We're talking about your life is on the line, and you've chosen one of them.
Well, even then, I think not necessarily his life on his line, but the chance to kill Gregor, that might be what pushes them.
Oh, Jaime. Too close to call for me. I don't know.
What if Jaime says, like, I've slept with Sansa or something?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so that's the kind of thing that would make the Hound take that, push him a little bit more.
I don't know, perhaps he would clap him on the shoulder or something.
Even if you did trigger the Hound's berserker rage, like, isn't Jaime the kind of fighter who would, take advantage of that?
Yeah.
But the Hound kind of is smart when he's always been strategic when he's fighting, even when he's mad.
The Hound is a very good fighter, and he's efficient in all of that. But Jaime, he really is. He's an artist when he fights. I mean, they say several times he was knighted when he was so young. He was second to almost no one. Perhaps Barristan Selmy, perhaps Arthur Dane, but that's basically it. He is one of the best, if not the best, swordsman of his generation. And yes, the Hound is ferocious and all of that, and he is smart, and he can do 9 out of 10 guys, but Jaime does 99 of 100, and that's just a difference.
And you're right. He was a prodigy, right? And he loves fighting, whereas the Hound, he likes fighting. Like, it's hard to tell. He
likes killing.
The Hound likes killing, right?
Yeah, and Jaime likes fighting. I think that's two different beasts.
Yeah.
You guys have convinced me. I'm going with Jaime on this one.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with the Hound because I want disagreement on this podcast, which is good. So
jeez.
Like I said,
I want disagreement
most of the time it would be Jaime. With the right circumstances, it would be the Hound.
Okay, on to Oberyn versus the Mountain rematch. With Oberyn actually like not wasting time, shit.
Well, then we know who would win. Oberyn would have won.
Yeah.
Yes.
The question is kind of like, if Oberyn hadn't have lost, would he have won?
I bet on the mountain if we just rewind the clock and let them fight again.
There we go. I know. Oberyn would be like, well, I'm not going to get so close.
The problem with anybody versus the mountain is if you make one mistake with the mountain, you're pretty much dead.
Dead, right.
Whereas somebody else, you might still survive it.
But also, are we talking having had prep time? Because
that's a good... Mm-hmm.
Oberyn, was prepped for that fight. I think if it was just out of nowhere, he might
these are all like duels for your what is it, trial by battle sort of situation.
Something tells me the Red Viper is always walking around with a vial of poison in his pocket.
Yeah, no question. But does he get to apply it? That's a question.
And does he have a spear to keep, giant?
Yeah, we can assume that he does in the trial of combat.
He's got one in his pants.
Chances are he loses.
He'll just throw enough stable boys in the mountain's way.
Hide behind a pile of dead stable boys.
So we're leaning toward Mountain then on this one. So it's not listed there, but what about Mountain against Jaime?
Oh,
that's a hard one. Jaime for the same reasons.
Oof.
I think here's the thing about the Mountain versus Oberyn. Oberyn's advantage was his weapon. It was a spear, so he could attack from a distance, and provided he had the patience, hit the Mountain in a weak spot. Jaime has a sword and would have to get in close, and I think would lose.
Yeah.
I agree. I go with the Mountain on that one.
Because they pretty much tell you you can literally successfully hit the Mountain with the sharp end of your sword multiple times, and he's just so huge and furious that he stays on his feet unless you cut them off. So Jaime could get in a few really terrific direct hits, and the Mountain would still. But at that point, you're close enough for him to grab you, and you're dead.
There's some power scaling for you. The Hound can beat the Mountain, but Jaime can beat the Hound. But the Mountain can beat
It's like rock, paper, scissors sort of situation.
Right.
Wait, someone said the Hound can beat the Mountain?
Yes.
Well,
I do think the Hound could beat the Mountain.
He has enough
strength,
and he was toe to toe with the Mountain, even without. Yeah, he was toe to toe with him in that
he
fight.
knows how to fight him.
Yeah, for a heartbeat.
No, it wasn't even going after the guy's head. He was being honorable. So.
Oh, and this is since you mentioned the power scaling thing, Tom Brevoort, who's an editor at Marvel Comics, he has a Formspring account where he takes fan questions all the time, and dudes from Marvel Comics battle boards constantly harass him, well, Thor beat Galactus in this issue, but then the Hulk lost to Galactus, so Thor must be able to beat the Hulk at all times and things like that. And he's like, it doesn't work that way. Otherwise, why would you ever
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
If you beat one team and that team beat another team, then you automatically beat that second team. No one would ever need to play again. You would know. So, it doesn't really work that way. So I could see Jaime beating the Hound and the Mountain beating Jaime, but the Hound beating the Mountain. I have no problem with that.
Are we all here? We lost connection for a second. Okay, we're all here. Okay. So
yeah, I agree with that. I agree
exactly.
And the difference is in comics, it all depends on who's writing it. But
yes,
it's just George writing these battles for us.
Right.
So
George mentioned somewhere. I think it was Gimli against the Mountain, and he said Gimli, and I'm like, what? Are you talking about? I don't think he was thinking that one through.
George.
Well, those guys. If you really crunch the numbers in the Lord of the Rings and look at those guys and the odds they were up against and how many of them survived, they are the Terminator. Each and every one of them, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
The Aragorn could defeat the Tyrells.
To be fair, all the orcs were wearing red shirts.
Yeah.
Well, what are you saying though? Tolkien was the UK Martin, so. But
flipping that around.
All right, so we have. We're gonna do Martin versus Tolkien. Bad enough.
So jeez.
In a physical fight, it'd be Martin. Yeah, he has a crossbow and swords in his place, right?
What?
Are we doing a real people now?
All right, no. What we're gonna do is Brienne against Asha, because that was actually done in one of your episodes, I think, in Boiled Leather.
Yeah.
And you both went with Brienne, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would agree, right? I think that she's just trained in knightly combat, and she has the equipment and the weapons to do it too.
Oh, it depends on how many throwing axes Asha has. Yeah, and able to get close enough. I don't know. But
still the same problem Jaime faces when he goes against the Mountain. She is armored, and you can throw axes at her or wooden sticks. It doesn't matter.
I I mean, this is a person who challenged Jaime. I mean, granted, he had his like limitations. He was like cuffed or whatever,
but even at the time, Jaime thought to himself like, "There's maybe 5 dudes in all of Westeros who are stronger than Brienne."
Yeah,
and Asha was not one of them.
Yeah. All right,
but strength alone does not win a battle.
No, that's true. But being good at battling wins.
She's very skilled. She won that. Yeah, she won that tournament.
Good,
how many people did she beat in that tournament? Like, tons of people, and beat Loras, like all of that. There's one thing, for example, Loras against the Mountain. It's like no matter how skilled you are, at some point strength just overrules it. Like I don't think he could take it. For example, like Jaime is stronger than Loras.
Sword fighter.
Yeah. Yes, right. You're like Garland is actually better in terms of the sword. But okay. Right. Tywin against Ned.
Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah, have we ever heard anything about Tywin's fighting ability at all?
He commands from the rear. So.
Really, Ned is 20 years younger or 30 years, so that's not really a question.
I don't even know why that's in there. I don't remember writing Tywin versus Ned. Somebody else must have written that.
If Ned was a deer and dead on the table.
If Ned was a whore.
A lion versus a wolf.
Ooh. Well, if it's a dire wolf, it goes to the dire wolf.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a dire lion or whatever. Saber-tooth tiger. Okay.
What? Amin's losing his mind over here.
Howland Reed versus the Mountain.
Oh, jeez, the Mountain.
Do they fight in the box?
Hey, what if he uses his magic, or whatever? Like, he beat Arthur Dane. He helped beat Arthur Dane.
Well, he helped beat Arthur Dane.
And the Mountain's like got the brain. He's got like the IQ of a monster, like of a animal, so he could like warg into him more easily.
Well, to be fair, Arthur Dane had also been fighting before they faced off.
I know, but if he's the best of the best, it's like a bit of fighting is not going to like tire him out. Like he's going to be.
We just don't know enough.
No, we don't. Although Howland could shout out, "Hey, R plus L equals J," and while the Mountain's going, "Huh?" He
He's like a headache.
Deliver the right.
Yeah, Mountain would probably be like, "Yeah, I raped her too."
I'm Jon Snow's father.
Yeah, he'd be like, "You know how Lyanna died? That was me."
Oh, it takes credit for all of it. I just don't know about Howland Reed. I mean, I wish I knew more about him. Did he use magic? Was it just a net? Did he actually have some sort of like puck from Alpha Flight type skills?
Maybe it's poison. Maybe it was poison that slowed him down or something. He managed to prick him and then.
That might be it. I can see that.
Oh God, the Mountain hates poison.
Yeah. Then again, it takes poison a long time to affect him. So. But I think Oberyn's poison was actually designed in that battle to take a long time. Like the usual poison would have acted a lot quicker and killed him. Like it was meant to draw the guy's pain out. So if he's just fighting a normal battle and he actually uses that poison, well then he's dead if he gets nicked. So
pretty much.
Yeah. All right. So this is one I had a problem with. Okay. Barristan against Dario. The last guy's not out. Everyone was going with Dario, and I was scratching my head. So come on, guys. You guys going to go with Barristan?
Oh, is it present day Barristan? Because he's getting up there.
He's toast.
What?
No, Barristan over Dario.
What are you talking about? Like, why is everyone going with Dario here?
Because Barristan's like 65 or something.
Whatever. Like he's still got. Dario was shit when he was 20 years old. Like, what is up with this? Like.
Yeah, man, I'm on Team Barristan on that one. I mean, the dude is like a legendary fighter. And Dario,
20 years ago, he could have kicked his ass.
I don't know. I mean, it still seems like people respect him and respect his talents. I mean, he cut his way through, the idiots that they sent to arrest him after he left, and that was like multiple
look at that
dudes.
Story. It's such an epic. Like they send all these guys. He cuts his way through all these people. Does all of this. Like it's pretty badass. I mean, like Dario wins the Battle of the Bedchamber, but we're not talking about that.
Right. Dario's very good at killing people who think he's their friend until he walks up and cuts their head off.
You don't become the leader of the mercenaries by just sitting back and doing nothing. You don't become
like the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard by just sitting back. Like
Listen, I'm sure Dario
is. Keep the spot.
Dario's a dangerous dude. Everyone talks about that, and and I'm sure I'm sure he's a good warrior, but I think he's in charge of his mercenary company at least as much for his skills in murdering people as his skills in defeating people in combat.
We got a link here. What's this link?
It's a sexy lady.
Oh my God.
It's Dario style.
So, please tell me you just drew that now.
No, that's from the art project that we're doing. Have you guys seen our art project, like the MS Paint?
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's coming out soon. We're going to be releasing a print copy. this month.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
I know, that's my favorite. So I gotta say, in dance, is there ever Barristan beats the two gladiators at the near the end? Is there any point where Dario references those gladiators? Is he scared of them? Is there any sort of knowledge, any sort of connection we can make between him not thinking he can beat those gladiators and then Barristan beating those gladiators?
No, not at all.
No, I don't think so.
He doesn't think he loses anybody. He's not gonna. He's got that kind of arrogant personality. He's not going to be like, "Oh, I can't take these guys."
And besides being armored against these guys unarmored, I would beat the gladiators. Really, not exactly a fight.
There we go. Stefan versus the gladiators.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm still with Barristan on this one, so.
I'm going with Barristan as well.
Oh, good.
Even though I'm a Dario fan.
No, we said Dario wins Battle of the Bedchamber, but we're not talking about that. So you know, like when I was rewatching season 1, and Robert was like, he's like, "Did you ever complete the 8 or whatever to Barristan?" And he's like, "I don't think I did." Do you think he even completed 1 or no?
Yes.
Yes.
He mentions his cousin, I guess.
What?
Wasn't he betrothed to a cousin of his?
He's betrothed, but unless he's like the Brandon Stark of his times, like nothing happened.
Yeah, of course you're right. No, so he's a virgin.
He wasn't that young when he made the Kingsguard, though.
Wait, Barristan the Bold is a virgin?
He might be.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I doubt.
Maybe he had that tunnel built. He's the one who had that tunnel.
Bags of sand.
Yeah, but he was never hand of the king.
I know, but like he asked the Hand of the King to build it for him.
He asked the Hand of the
It's like,
King.
"Hey, buddy, let's build a tunnel."
Whoa.
Or else.
All right.
What's the next battle?
Oh, you'll like this one: Blackfish versus Brawn.
Brawn. I hate the blackfish.
You hate the Blackfish?
What?
I hate the blackfish.
That's
We're gonna have Stefan versus Kyle later on.
Oh, what?
Yeah, but my blackfish antipathy is the one thing I get the most heat from to take up that question from the beginning. I just really don't like the guy.
Any particular reason, or just?
I think he's a fucking war criminal.
I'm sorry, what was that, Stefan?
I think he's a war criminal, basically. He fights an absolute senseless war with big human casualties, and we are supposed to cheer him for it because he's so badass. And that's just something I don't like. I've written a whole essay about it, basically.
Well, I guess I'll have to look at that. But do you mean like when he was fighting till the end, or earlier on? Like,
yeah. It's in Feast for Crows where I really developed this hate against him when he meets up with Jaime, and he throws out all the people out of Riverrun, and there's really no point in fighting. His liege lord is dead. Every other castle has fallen. He's just fighting on because, why exactly? And I really don't like that about people.
He's fighting for honor.
Well, I could give the argument that he's possibly fighting for the heir of the rightful heir to Robb.
Yeah, I don't like that theory either.
All right.
Yeah, I had some fights with Ghost Love Singer about it, and we're still at grips because of it.
Well, people are passionate about their characters in series.
No, that's a wonderful point of view. I mean, I don't agree, but I happen to be a very large fan of him and think that particular scene is one of my favorites from the books. But yeah, I respect that. That's very interesting. Very cool. I never thought of it that way.
Thanks.
One can be badass and a war criminal at the same time. So
yeah, quite so.
But I don't have to admire him for it.
But putting that aside, you don't let that affect in terms of fighting. You might not like the guy, but now you have to say in a fight versus Brawn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's hard because the Blackfish is the same problem. He's old, and Brawn is a really efficient fighter like the Hound. So I still put my money on Brawn simply because the guy knows what he's doing, and the Blackfish is old.
Yeah.
I would go with Brawn too because I think the Blackfish has pride, and Brawn has no use for that. So I think Brawn will go places where the Blackfish just won't.
I think if Brawn is in a boat down a stream, I think the Blackfish has an advantage. But up close and personal, I'd probably give it to Brawn. Although, how much have we seen Blackfish in single combat? Have we seen it?
Nothing, but when he was young, we know he was good because he was Jaime's idol.
Yes.
So that's the thing. As the age thing slowed him down, because as young, it's for him for sure. I think.
I'd be itching to see
it. Not to that power comparison thing, but I mean, like Braun barely took Vardis Egan. which I don't think is the level as a blackfish. So
Well, I thought he was just toying with him to wear him out.
Oh, he almost died. He was wearing him. He was wearing him out, but
well, he almost died because he slipped on something, right?
Yeah. That's part of your strategy, like if
he's got the slip, like in Smash Brothers Brawl. I don't know if any of you guys play that, but
oh no, here we go. Braun versus the Hound. This could be ugly.
Oh, this is actually right here.
Yeah, Hound.
The Hound.
Case closed. Done.
Yeah, the Hound.
Good.
Yeah, agreed.
You can tell you guys are book readers.
You
and
have
TV watch.
no
Yeah, I was going to say on the show.
The arguments I get into people.
That's why you need to go on Tumblr, Ashley, so you can join the battle over there.
I am so sick of it. People nag me on these other message boards when I say, "Are you kidding me? The Hound's gonna win hands down," and they're just like, "No, nag, nag, nag."
Okay, so now we have some ones that were suggested by Sean, I guess.
Yeah. We
have Drogo against Strong Belwas. Drogo all the way if it's on horseback.
Even not on horseback.
Yeah.
It's the battle of the undefeateds. That's why I came up with it.
Drogo died to like a paper cut. What the hell? Like,
well, and some help from Miri Mazdur.
Really? No, you think that she was actually like poisoning him or causing stuff while he was alive?
Oh, I forget where I left off with that. I feel like I go back and forth so many times I no longer remember like which end is up with that particular issue. But it was an infection. It was one of those things. Strong Belt. Well, here, okay. Let's say it was perfectly natural. Then I would have to go with Strong Belwas because Strong Belwas gives himself those kinds of cuts all the time on purpose. Drogo died from one little cut. Strong Belwas.
We're doing the power comparison here.
Belwas knows how to clean them.
Yes.
Yeah.
He can take
poison too. He's got a strong immune system.
Yep.
So
it's a tough call, but I would go with
Drogo was the best like Dothraki ever, right? In terms of like, well, that was leadership too, though.
Yeah, I mean, on the battlefield it's one thing, but if it is like a duel to the death just between two dudes, like I think I like Strong Belwas's chances there.
But Strong Belwas takes a hit, right, from all his opponents. First Gar.
Yes.
I feel like if Drogo ripped out his throat,
well, he wouldn't have to. If he was fighting for me, I'd say, "Don't do that, man. Don't do that, and I'll give you like twice as many locusts or something."
Yeah, but Strong Belwas isn't going to say, "Okay, I won't take."
Well, I'll bribe him with locusts. I'll be like, "Here, have all these like locusts and blood oranges or whatever. Like, just change."
Oh, interesting.
Was that your article, Stefan?
Yeah, exactly.
Characters unworthy of praise. Interesting.
Oh, I look forward to that. 2,300
comments.
Haters gonna hate.
Did you read every single comment? That's the thing about Tower of the Hand too. Once you get over like 1,000 comments, it's impossible to read anything.
Yeah. I always give up at a certain point because, but that's not too bad because these long comment threads they tend to go off subject anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It's hard for me to choose. I'm going to just go with Drogo, but it could go either way. Hodor versus Gregor. What?
Hand to hand, like no weapons, no armor, just two giants with their bare hands.
Hodor lacks the killer instinct. That's the problem.
We're talking about Greg Clegane who killed Oberyn with his bare hands, right?
That's correct.
When the other guy had his sword and his spear.
So,
but isn't like
and it's put into perspective.
Yeah, but Gregor has just smashed Bran's head in or something, and now Hodor is mad.
Right.
So Hodor's running around with his arms flying, and that's about it.
Well, I feel like, don't they talk about like Hodor is almost like the Incredible Hulk? Like he just has this ungodly strength that, like he's lifting things that like...
He wins the battle of the Manwoodies.
So he'll lift the mountain up.
By a mile. What about a Bran-controlled Hodor versus Greg?
Well, Bran's not really a good fighter, though.
Yeah, I think he'd be worse off.
By the way, Hodor might be related to Gregor. That was the theory that we talked about, I think, with Elio.
Yes.
There might actually be like a relation there. So
both their names end in OR, case closed.
Oh, God, scene.
All right, what is this? Rickon against Robert Aaron?
Rickon,
man.
Yes, Rickon, that's a gimme.
Yeah, that kid's crazy. That kid's feral.
You gotta put Bran against Robert Aaron.
But anybody against Robert Aaron is going to win, pretty much.
How about Sour Milk versus Robert Aaron?
A Strong Breeze versus Robert Aaron. A Strong Breeze basically wins when they're trying to go down back down.
Maybe Tommen versus Robert Aaron. He might lack the instinct to do anything.
Right.
He'd send his kittens after him.
Yeah.
I'm crying over here.
What's this? Ramsay Bolton and the Bastard Boys against Vargo Hoat and the Brave Company.
Vargohode.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not so competent, the Bolton and his boys. They're not exactly.
No. Yeah, when their opponents aren't terrified women.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say Vargohode is bound and naked. Then I give Ramsay Bolton a chance.
Right.
A fighting chance.
Now, what about Vargo Hoat and the Brave Companions versus Gregor Clegane and his little posse?
Gregor Clegane and his men are well trained. Like they're good at what they do.
Yeah, and they're brutal enough.
Yeah. They kind of had that matchup, although they ambushed them, right? They kind of got so. You know what happened? It wasn't like the fairest of fights. Like when they took over the Harrenhal, like the 5th time it fell or something.
Oh yeah, it kind of did, didn't it?
Yeah. But it wasn't like the direct thing.
No, like the two of them clashing on the battlefield. Yeah, cavalry and everything. That'd be interesting. But it does seem like the Brave Companions, for all that they are a sellsword company and have presumably fought in like multiple wars, and it seems like they're kind of a weapon of terror as much as anything else. So they're useful for like intimidating inexperienced armies and obviously civilians and stuff, but up against like hardened murder machines like Gregor and his boys, like I think that a lot of their shock and awe of like how they look and how they behave, like would it just wouldn't even register with Gregor.
And his men are all well known. Everyone knows that they're good. I mean, they have the terror factor as well, but they're feared on the battlefield. Even at one point, Caitlyn's like, "Does Robb has to go back and deal with Gregor now?" Like he's like a factor out there. He's
right.
dangerous. So
yeah,
and he keeps killing northern men all over the place, like ambushing them, and part of that is Bolton setting them up too.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Also, I mean, Vargohode is used for foraging. That says everything, right?
Drogon against the surviving Stark direwolves.
The direwolves.
Really? Isn't Drogon pretty big now, though? Like he can fly?
Yeah, but he goes out there to hunt this white lion, and he comes back really bruised. And we have several direwolves of roughly the same size going against him. I put my money on the direwolf.
If he lets them get close enough to actually bite him, then he's screwed, maybe.
It depends on if he stays airborne and, I gave this one a lot of thought because for some I just once I thought it up I was like, wow, this would be kind of cool, and like I started roping in like more and more, because I was thinking like, well, if Drogon stays airborne, obviously they can't touch him, and unless one of them gets really lucky with a leap and brings him down, or injures his wing in such a way that he can't fly anymore, he's just like a flying flamethrower and can light them all on fire, and that's that. So then I started like, okay, well, what if you roped in the Stark kids, connected to those wolves. So like, Jon, who's a capable warrior, and Bran, who's a skin changer, and Arya, who I don't know what I'm not sure if Arya's talents as a faceless man in training have any value there. I don't know. But with Arya, you also you have Nymeria's whole wolf pack. So what if you folded them in there? And like there was like this army of wolves led by like 3 kids fighting one dragon.
That sounds epic. I hope we see this.
Me too.
All right.
Holy cow! Now I've never thought about this before, but now I hope something like this happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
That's if there's any other ones on the list that you see in particular you want to bring out, just say it. But I do want to do one more myself. Littlefinger against Tyrion at the Savas table, and I think that Tyrion has the skill to beat him, but Littlefinger will probably cheat somehow to win it. What do you think?
Tyrion.
I think Littlefinger.
Really? Just base skill?
Just based on skill, yeah. I mean, we see Tyrion playing Savas several times during Dance with Dragons, and I think he's a very competent player, but he's not an expert at it. And I don't know why, but I just would attribute Littlefinger the necessary skills to do it, especially the patience, because Tyrion has this problem talking too much and stuff. And I guess over a long Savas game, he will get disoriented a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would go with Littlefinger.
Yeah, doesn't Tyrion have to use some tricks to win, actually, now that I remember? He doesn't win all of them. But he does beat some people, though.
Yeah.
It's
I thought he always lost on purpose. To make all those slavers happy or whatever it was.
He also beat some people, yeah. It's tricky.
Yeah.
I could see Littlefinger allowing himself to lose, and while Tyrion's congratulating himself, like Littlefinger stabs a knife in his back. So,
do we ever see Does Littlefinger ever play Savas in the?
No.
I'm going with Tyrion.
Oh, he spends all his time as a whorehouses. He's not going to be playing Savas. Like.
Yeah, he's playing Savas with actual whores. He's like, move behind that elephant, and we're not watching HBO. Sorry, guys.
Are there anything else on this list we're going to go over, or are we going to move on just in the interest of time? Anything else that you really want to
Melisandre versus Makoro.
Where's that?
I just made it up.
Okay.
Mokoro.
Yeah, he seems like he's the orthodox guy. He's got the more reliable power.
There we go.
Although we haven't seen him birth a shadow yet, so...
No, that's true. or have, that sort of glamour power that Melisandre has. Or,
yeah, but during Melisandre's giving birth to a shadow baby, even Robert Arryn could feel a bit vulnerable at that point.
Yeah.
I have one. Cersei versus Caitlyn.
Ooh.
I want to see a cat fight.
Well, now it's Caitlyn, but at the start of the books, Cersei.
I'd still go with Caitlyn from the beginning of the books, because at the beginning of the book she fights off an assassin, whereas I think if someone attacked Cersei physically, she'd be like too busy being outraged in her interior monologue to actually fight.
Can you imagine if Cersei had her hand cut? She would be talking about that for the entire series.
Oh God, yeah, that would be the books.
Yeah, that'd be a bummer. Time for Elio versus Linda next.
We're going to people listings, yeah.
There you go, Elio versus Linda. Oh, Linda would kick the crap out.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Elio, but
she's got the
Linda's
Viking
ferocious.
background. What is Elio's background?
Well, Linda can also ride a horse. Can Elio?
Okay.
Yeah, she's like a big horse. Like, she takes riding lessons and everything. So I don't know. I assume, she rides by, grabs the magic ponytail. Show's over, man.
She dances like Dario with those heads.
Yep.
Yeah, Linda. All right.
Well, Linda also has more enemies out there, though. So Elio's got more bannermen.
That's true, but I feel like Linda's enemies keep her on her toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like Drogo. She's got to be ready to take on all comers.
Exactly, yeah. Elio's got lax there.
He's become complacent.
Effectively, Linda's a Khaleesi, basically, right? Linda's a horse lord.
Yeah. Linda's the Khaleesi and Elio's a consort, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Right.
What's this Westeros against Tumblr? Tumblr's dead, baby. I
don't know. Tumblr's pretty powerful.
It was like the Hodor and Westeros is Gregor. That's the comparison.
Yeah, Westeros is weaponized in a way that Tumblr probably isn't. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, there's a lot of Tumblrs out there, man. A lot of Tumblrs out there.
We're talking about like straight up fight, or we're talking about like quality of conversation, or
straight up physical fight. But see, here's the thing. I bet you Westeros. There's a larger number of Westeros users who like have actual medieval weapons at their disposal.
I fear what type of weapons the Tumblr users have.
Yeah,
They
are more likely to have jobs and like cars and stuff, so they'll be able to.
Oh my god!
What, you mean because they're older?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Wise, yeah. But then they're older, then they won't be able to win, right? Because they're old.
Right, Tumblr has youth on its side.
Except that by old in Westeros means you're in your 30s, whereas Tumblr is you're in your 16.
Jesus, what?
Tumblr has all the feels, though. I wondered if feels give you any kind of advantage in combat.
So why did you somebody just deleted Sean versus Stefan? That used to be so big. And
no, it's still someone made it small instead of big.
Yeah, I made it small again. It just seems so self-serving.
Sean versus Stefan. All right, guys, it's the battle of the century.
I would win.
Why would you win?
Sean wins the battle of the bedroom, but no.
Whoa.
No, don't you guys both have sons? Actually, have you? Or both?
We do.
Kids?
We do. We've both produced heirs.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Oh wait, no, I don't have a son. What am I talking about? I have a daughter.
Your line is not secure. Greyjoy. Oh, you can have an alliance. There you go.
I'm pretty confident. I have done this stuff before. I don't know if Shae has done it, but I did it.
Oh, Boiled Leather used to have another podcast host that disappeared.
Have you done? You've killed men before?
No. I used to be a live action role player for some time, so I have wielded swords.
Oh, Sean, you're toast.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. I have never.
Sean's good on horseback, so.
I don't know that I'm good at that either.
Yeah. Well, that's something I can do as well. I have a pretty nice picture for you, and tremble and behold.
Okay.
Saving.
Let's see this thing. That's a big file.
Yeah, it's going to take Skype forever to We'll leave that downloading while we move on.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
All right, let's jump into how much time do you have left there? That's what I'm worried about.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm fine too, man.
You got an hour or less?
A little less than.
Okay. All right. So what we're doing here is just this one we don't have to agree on, but like we'll just quickly say who for our ideal council who you would choose. Starting with I guess kind of goes together. Let's start with some of the easier ones first, maybe like Master of Laws.
Man, I should have prepared for this.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
Well, our answer before we had consensus was Ned. Maybe might be a good Master of Laws.
Edmure Tully. No, I'm serious. Edmure Tully.
You're being serious? Why?
I pretty much like Edmure Tully as a rule. I always say if I have to choose one kingdom to live in and one lord under which to live, I would take Edmure Tully because he's the most amiable guy of all of them, the one that cares most for the small folk. And the Master of Laws, I think a reasonable guy there who has not exactly the iron grip of Stannis or the icy pragmatism of Tywin. He is just right.
But he lost the war.
Yeah, but he's Master of Laws and not Master of Wars.
Yeah, he fits that role maybe. But he doesn't seem like the smartest of guys, though. You're right, he has a big heart, which is good. But for laws, like...
yeah, you're right here, but what...
Should be Master of, like, food or something. Like...
I mean, they made Renly the Master of Laws
That's
before.
True. It seems like a position that is not the most crucial. You could put somebody in there. So if you're going with a good comment, if he was somebody that he meshed well with, if you had like Caitlyn there or Ned or some sort of like in-law there, then it would be a nice like family appointment to put him there. But I'm saying Ned. You're saying Edmure. Any other things before we move on?
I don't have any at the top of my head. I was thinking like strict, like Stannis or something like that. But I suppose that you're right that wouldn't be necessarily a good thing.
Okay.
So je ne sais pas.
Howland Reed.
Oh la la.
All right.
Howland Reed. Why did you just say Howland Reed? Master of Coin?
No, I was saying Law, maybe Master of Laws. But okay, Master of Coin.
I just want Littlefinger.
The guy who bankrupted the realm.
He made a nice, pleasant bubble.
Yeah,
so.
He's the bubble master.
As long as you're there while the bubble still exists, everything is nice.
I think the last time we did this, it was like Tyrion for all of the above when we chose him. I think Tyrion is better suited for there.
I want who's the guy from the Bank of Bravos with his nice little hat?
Oh yeah, what's that guy?
Or not little hat, I guess, big hat. Tycho Brahe.
We're just doing Master of Coin here. Sean, you're back.
Master of Coin, okay.
I said Tycho Brahe, or however what is.
Let's go like overseas. Let's get somebody from Bravos over. We're going to outsource the position. Bravosi, they don't have the money. Yeah.
Westeros really has a lack of economist knowledge. You have to say Littlefinger is just a schemer, and the rest of them doesn't know shit. So you really have to import someone.
Oh, Lord Manderley. Maybe.
That's exactly what I was going to say, man. Lord Manderley.
He wants his own bank, anyways, and he's got good economy and stuff. Like,
there you go.
And he managed to put money aside when everyone was bleeding.
Lord
cash
Manderley,
left and
okay,
right.
putting Lord Manderley there.
For the law, I'd get a Meister in there because they seem to be able to weigh things
Maester Lewin
a lot better and not hold their stuff pride, but not.
My Master of Laws would be Jon Snow.
Oh,
because Jon has a lot of really rock solid ideas about how to order, his particular corner of society. He's just a rotten politician, but as Master of Laws on the small council, it wouldn't be up to him as to how to execute things. So he could let more seasoned politicians and field leaders actually execute the ideas that he comes up with. So,
very interesting.
Excellent. Okay. All right. By the way, we got that photo of Stefan here, like with a warhammer. So yeah, he's going to win that fight.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yes.
All right, back to the file. It's good. So what we have next? We have. Just a quick question on Coin. Actually, do you two guys think the Littlefinger was like messing up the economy on purpose?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think that too. Yeah. Okay, so that's why I wouldn't want him as Master of Coin.
No.
So, Master of Ships.
Hodor.
Yes.
I don't think you really can make a case against Stannis.
Yeah, he did a good job at it.
At least he didn't botch it.
Yeah, we'll put Stannis in.
Davos.
Or Davos, yeah, because he has the ability. Yeah.
Davos is, I think, that's the tough one to beat. My other choice actually was going to be Asha, but I think that would be
if you reformed her. Yeah.
Right. It would be that
like
just
Davos,
by giving her that response. I'm a big fan in fiction of when people are given positions that force them to grow, because I believe that the input that you receive from other people goes a long way to shaping who you are and who you become. So I think that if Asha were given that position in sort of the same way that like when Tyrion is given the handship, a lot of skills and talents that he always had but never had a chance to use, now he can use them. I think that Master of Ships would be good for Asha as a person, as well as being, I think she'd really throw herself into it.
If she put her abilities toward, it'd be a good outlet for her abilities that wouldn't be destructive to the
right,
realm,
exactly. And I think her abilities I think her talents would grow. It's not just like, oh, this will improve her as a person. I think she'd get even better at the things she's already good at.
Okay, so right now we say Jon Snow as Master of Laws, Manderly Master of Coin, Asha as Master of Ships, or Davos. What about Kingsguard?
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Hound.
Just the commander we're talking about right now.
The Hound. Well, he's the worst person to have the Kingsguard.
Garland Tyrell. How about that?
Dunk.
Or Loris.
Yeah,
Loris, but Loris is kind of still emotional. Is that?
Yeah. So Garland is really good choice.
All right, but although he's married, but maybe like whatever. His wife dies.
I want.
Sansa's the queen, the Hound.
I'm suspicious of Garland, so I don't know that he would make a good Kingsguard commander. I question his loyalty to the throne.
Are you in on the Grand Tyrell conspiracy?
I'm not, but I just assume they're all up to no good. Not necessarily that they are up to all.
Seems like a decent guy, though, at least personality-wise, because he sees Tyrion's worth and he's like standing up for him. But yeah, maybe politically.
Yeah.
Whereas it's all part of the plan.
Yeah.
I have a hard time saying that Barristan the Bold wouldn't be the best.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, look at the people who joined the Kingsguard under Barristan.
Oh, he had no control over that.
He had no control over that, right?
He didn't have couldn't veto something.
He doesn't get a say in it. I thought that Lord Commander
he didn't even want Jaime.
They just do what they say. Here's your new people. Like what he's gonna do.
So what does the Lord Commander do? That's not the same.
He fills out the book.
He writes the book.
He makes tough decisions.
I think once you are a member of the Kingsguard, you have to follow the King's orders and stuff. But that aside, I think you answer to the commander. It's not that he chooses people. I think he was
like a
overridden.
judge. Like if the judges in the court can't say we don't want this new judge. Like it's just appointed there. You don't have to control that.
Well, we have that moment in Feast where we see Jaime actually directing the guards around, correct? And he says, you guys are protecting so and so at this time or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how that meeting went, but we have an example of what the Lord Commander does.
Cool. Anything other than Barristan? Gonna throw out any other names there?
I stand by my choice.
Hound. Okay. if Sansa's the queen.
All right.
I don't know why no other names are coming to mind.
My other choice might be Brienne, but we have no indication of how she would function in a leadership role.
Well, it depends if
all over her.
If she actually gets to choose the people, if we change things where she can choose the other people that work with her, then it'd be good. But if she gets a bunch of douchebags, that could be bad.
What about Jaime?
I think current Jaime is a good Lord Commander.
Yeah, but I mean, even no matter how good you are, you have that taint of the past on you. Like if we're hiring somebody for a job, and it's like, by the way, the last time I was in the Kingsguard, I killed the king. That's gonna affect.
Jaime's got a big taint.
Depends on what it is up to be a Kingsguard. Like the point of a Kingsguard is kind of like somebody's lawyer. You're not there to judge them. You're just there to protect them and do it. You can't be like, I'm going to change things and like do this. Like you're there to protect them. You can't. So he violated just like a lawyer who'd go and take all the secrets of his client and tell them to the judge. So you can't do that as a Kingsguard.
Interesting.
That's a specific position that's supposed to do that. So
his lawyer. Oh God.
Yeah. What about Hand?
Tywin.
Well, he does have a good record.
Yeah, read my essay and you know why I don't agree. But he's the other guy beside the Blackfish I really pummel over.
Okay, well, how about like Stefan as Hand?
Oh yes, of course. I would
do a great job.
So just and modest and all of that.
Elio. Hand.
Being a nice guy only works if everyone else is nice too.
There you go. I mean, aren't you the hand of the king or the queen?
Yeah, throw my name in.
Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion's a pretty good choice.
Yeah, Tyrion or Doran Martell maybe when he was a little younger. Without the vengeance problem. Let's say that's dealt with.
Tyrell.
Okay.
Who put Tyrell? What is that? Yeah.
That probably meant Tyrion. That probably was
it's
the idea, right?
Okay. All right, let's get this done with. Master Whisperers here.
Blood Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's good at his job.
And he is still around.
Yeah, although he got sacked for a certain reason. Yeah, maybe he was causing trouble. Like we have to see, was he fired unfairly or was he causing trouble?
I don't know. The three-eyed crow.
But not.
I always kind of assumed that he engineered his own downfall.
Yeah.
Really interesting. But last time we said Qyburn would be a good one. Like he is. He's.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
No, Qyburn. I don't know about that.
Why?
I just, the person who's telling us he's doing a good job is Cersei.
It seems like anyone can really fit that role. Once the system's been set up, you just have to pay the money to the Whisperers.
Right. Right. Well, the problem is you need a master of Whisperers who's not going to be whispering about you to other people.
Oh, okay. So then Edmure will be ruled out. I was going to put Edmure, but.
I thought about Doran Martell.
Yeah.
He's a good schemer. He's patient. I think he would lull a lot of people into complacency.
The thing, you need someone who's not going to make stuff up because they don't have anything to say.
Right. Yeah.
See, like Qyburn, I see as this kind of person who will say what you want to hear.
So you're not going to put him for Grand Maester then? We're looking at Grand Maester here.
No.
Grand Maester.
Sam Tarley.
There you go.
Yeah, Sam or Aemon. He studied under Aemon.
Oh, Aemon.
Yeah.
Maester Lewin.
I love Lewin.
Yeah, but Lewin had some magic bias.
He's too anti-magic. In a world that actually has magic, he's too anti-magic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Marwyn just to spice things up.
We talked about that before. Actually, yeah, he's too much of a maverick to be
exactly.
But to be Grand Maester, he's too far the other way to be there. Unless the realm is dominated by magic, then maybe he'll be good for that. Any other suggestions, or that's what we're going with?
I can't think of any for that one.
Okay. What about Master of Whores?
This is a title?
Well, this is our ideal council here.
Is it?
Ideal council.
It's the ideal council, apparently. Oh, God.
Yada.
Ilario Mopatis.
Tyrion. He's got the experience.
I'm going with Chataya.
Oh, yeah. Let's get some. We need to get some women on this council. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's put Chataya. We're going with all these freaking men. So, Chataya, Master of Whores. Brienne in the Kingsguard.
How did Sean get on there? How is Sean written down on this document as Master of Whores?
It wasn't me.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm still for Cersei. We're
putting you somewhere so you can reach your full potential. Like your full.
My God.
Well, there's something. If Cersei needed a position, what would you put her in?
Master of the Crazies.
Master of prophecy interpretation.
Well, I've got it. The Vatican used to have a position, or maybe they still do, in the process of canonization of saints, devil's advocate, where that person's job was only to poke holes and shoot down the potential canonization of a new candidate for sainthood. That was their only job, is to what's wrong with this, what the problems are, why this person's no good, and I think Cersei would be really good in that role. It's not in the books though. I just made it up, but
that actually exists.
Yeah.
Wow, that is fascinating. That's really interesting.
Yeah, our council's become a sausage fest. Like this is not. I guess it's the way just with the people that are available. But we'll put Jaina Lannister in there somewhere and one of the Mormonts. Okay, so now we're almost done. The last thing before the after show is the ideal Kingsguard, which we do need to agree on. So what do we
need to agree on?
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, 7 people here.
How much time we got?
Well, there's certain and this is from start of the books. So do we all agree that Barristan should still be on there?
Yes.
He's my Kingsguard.
Okay, so there's one. Barristan, write that down. Barristan. All right. What else?
Sorry, I had a cough.
You're rooting for that. If you go to that convention where they're supposed to root, you're supposed to root for somebody to be elected. You're going to be having Edmure Tully banner.
If Edmure doesn't get to be the Master of Laws, he has to enter the Kingsguard.
Put him in the Master of Horrors for Edmure.
What? That's just crazy.
Well, there is room in the 7 Kingsguard. There is room for somebody like Edmure. Not everyone has to be top fighter, but we're talking about ideal.
They should be. They should be the 7 best knights.
Yeah.
So we're doing people who were alive at the beginning of the book.
Yeah. So we got Barristan number 1.
Oh gosh. Do we want Jaime on there?
Yeah.
I'm willing to have him on there.
Well, we just said beginning of the books, and he's for shit at the beginning of the books as a Kingsguard. I mean, he's a great fighter, but...
Yeah, but that's because it's a Baratheon king. If you would just imagine a Lannister king on the throne, he would be ideal.
Well, leave him on there for now. So we got Barristan, Jaime. What about Loras? Throw Loras into the mix. He needs somewhere to go.
Yeah, I'll put that. Take that.
We need some Dornish people on here. We're gonna bring from Dorne to do this. Darkstar.
Darkstar.
Darkstar. I can tell we're already gonna agree on all of these already.
Oh, you said Santagar. Okay, yeah, Santagar was good, right? We need some regional representation. The problem with the Kingsguard, it's all like from one place.
Okay.
Lynn Corbray.
Oberyn would be. Oh my! The chaos. Corbray.
But then Corbray and Loras are gonna like hook up. Like that'll be.
Yeah, I just wanted to
I think Lynn Corbray likes him younger than Loras, unfortunately for everybody.
Whoa!
Well, that's what it says. I mean, he's not gay. He's a straight up pedophile.
Yeah.
Oh lordy.
Right? Don't blame me, man.
No, I'm not.
That's the thing that comes out of Westeros is theories where they talk about whether he molested Robert Arryn are from Westeros, and in fact are not complete crackpot because it's possible and very scary. Like what?
Oh so, Jesus, I hadn't even, and that's why
he's
Robert
like all afraid of him and stuff. Yeah. So. Or at least what comes out of it is probably Robert Arryn could at least sense there's something wrong with Lynn Corbray, and he can sense it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I feel like if you know, from what we know, there's no way that Robert's incapable of keeping someone bothering him a secret.
Yeah.
You know, no matter how scary Corbray, no matter how much Corbray tried to scare him, I just think it's, you know, he just cannot.
I don't think he actually did something, but Robert can tell there's something wrong with Lynn Corbray. Like,
yeah, maybe.
Sense it.
Yeah.
But so do we want him on the Kingsguard or not?
Lynn Corbray?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Okay,
that would make him being a pedophile is probably disqualifying for the Kingsguard.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
You're sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't even know.
All right, so we have Barristan, Jaime, Loras, Santagar. That's 4. We still need 3 more here.
Can we put in Brienne?
Brienne, okay, throw Brienne in there.
Yep.
Okay, 5.
Didn't I say that?
Not the Hound.
Shut up.
Hey, if Ashley wants the Hound in there, the Hound can be in there. The Hound will be. He'll do it.
Oh no! What?
You can't have the Hound and Jaime together, though.
Yeah, they can. Jaime will be.
Yeah, they get along.
They'll hook up. Like.
I don't know. What a dysfunctional group this is.
Barristan, Jaime, Loras, Santagar, Brienne, the Hound, and then we have one.
Speaking of dysfunctional, Mance Raider.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now who's the Kingsguard?
Wait, hang on. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 7. But you need someone from the north.
Mance Raider.
Yeah, but I mean someone with allegiance.
You need the Bastard of Bolton.
No. Who's a good fighter from the north?
Umber.
Harry and Carstark.
Yeah. Oh, Umber. One of the Umbers. Both are Horsebane.
Horsebane. Terrific.
Who are we taking out of this list then?
Giantsbane.
Could we please delete also Horsebane? I mean, we don't take the pedophile, but beating horse, that's no problem.
All right, then who are we going to replace Mance Raider with is the question.
Don't replace him.
Okay, well, we need to...
Yeah, that's a good list for me.
So final list. Is Barristan the Bold, is he the commander? Barristan?
Yeah.
Barristan the Bold, so Jaime Lannister, Loras Tyrell, what is it, Aaron Santagar? What's his name?
Yeah, Aaron Santagar.
Yeah. Brienne, the Maid of Tarth, the Hound, and Mance Raider.
There will be blood.
Epic win.
Oh my gosh, Jaime and Brienne are going to be off in the closet somewhere all the time. You'll be off in the baths. Oh gosh, that's the worst.
Like they'll have that. Imagine like they'll have like the Kingsguard meeting where Barristan's holding, and he's like, "Where the hell is Jaime and Brienne?" And like it'll pan to them, and then they come 30 minutes late.
They were just checking the books.
Yes, the books. Well, I can proudly say that's the worst Kingsguard I've ever seen.
Yes, I would have to concur reluctantly.
Okay.
I don't know how we unanimously arrived. Maybe not worse.
All right, let's move. I think that's it for the main show. We're going to do after shows. Anything else on the main show we want to talk about here? No.
So why are we even making a distinguishing note between now and the after show?
We are. There's going to be music, and then we'll get in the after show. So first, I want to thank Sean and Stefan for joining us today. It was great.
It was really a pleasure, you guys. Thank you.
We've made the ideal Kingsguard, so all we need to do is see the fan art to come up. And the fan fiction.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys as well. It was really nice chatting with both of you. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you.
Likewise.
Let me see if I have any news or notes we want to do here. So we're going to be going on to Tumblr soon. And I think, Kyle, you were saying what we're thinking of doing is having a main Tumblr that's for us and then one that everyone can contribute to?
Yeah, I was thinking the podcast of Ice and Fire Tumblr for just us hosts is like a kind of an official thing. And then we're going to have a House Manwoody Tumblr for all of House Manwoody. And I'm not entirely sure how Tumblr works, but I know you can have outside contributors and everything. So we'd like to open that up and have everybody just participate and contribute if they want. And we think that would lead to some really interesting things.
Cool.
And frightening as well.
And the Bastards of Kingsgrave also has a Tumblr page coming out. The offshoot of the Song of Ice and Fire, which is on iTunes now, by the way. So, got that. And any other news, I guess, as I mentioned before, I'll be attending Days of Ice and Fire. Have you guys heard about that, Sean and Stefan, like that event?
I have, yeah. I don't really leave the house ever anymore, so but that sounds cool.
Right?
Yeah. I'm going to that. And what about Ashley in terms of the Ohio convention?
Still working on it, so I'm not confirming it yet, but getting closer to confirming it.
And say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, now we're going to the after show. How much time do you have left?
I have another 20, 25 minutes,
Excellent,
I guess.
Excellent, good. So what we're going to do in the after show is something I need to explain. And this is one of the reason people wanted you to come here, so you guys can take it easy, be more relaxed here. Take another swig of that Arbor Red or whatever, or Shadow wine. Be relaxed.
Hippocras for me.
Yeah.
Classy.
Yeah. And we're going to do what Sean doesn't like to do, is to think of these characters in a sexual way. Which is okay. And so basically we're going to be like marry, mistress, one night. And the mistress is like / salt wife or salt boy. It's a guy. One night, or scorpions. Or scorpions is when you're in the bed and you'd rather have the scorpions fall on you than to see this person. Okay? So you get the general idea? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to start. And we've done this many times, so we'll say stuff, obviously, but we're really looking to hear you two and Ashley as well, because you haven't actually been on a kind of like boys' night sort of thing. So let's start with Caitlin.
Yeah,
Cricket sound.
Do I have to say something about everyone, or
yeah, every name that comes up, you got to say something. You have to say Mary, Mistress, One Night, or Scorpion.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, Mary.
Mary?
Yeah, Mary. Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Ashley?
Well, I guess one night is better than dying from scorpions. So.
Hey, you can give the aching loins thing, so it's all good.
Yeah, no.
Am I dumping these scorpions on that person or myself?
Oh, yourself.
On yourself.
Yeah, we're on.
Yeah, maybe just lie back and think of River Run.
Yeah.
Like, at least it's not Lysa.
True.
All right, I'm going to come back in a minute. We'll continue this. So.
What? Where's he going?
Yeah, like somebody's at the door.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll carry on without you, I mean. So next up is Danny.
Scorpions?
Scorpion. Whoa.
Wow, really?
Wow.
I'll go with Mistress. I mean, first of all, I want to, for those of you playing along at home, I've been assured that everyone has been aged up appropriately. So,
Yes, there are no Lynn Corbrays here.
Right. Okay. So then I would go with Mistress because she's like super gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
But like maybe a slightly problematic person to deal with on a romantic level, it seems. So,
I'm going for the scorpions.
Fun. How come she is not on your list of overrated people then?
I'm at Mistress just because I feel like if you married her, then you'd be fighting her all the time to be the boss, and I don't need that.
Oh no.
I didn't know Drogo did it very well.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like
Drogo was kind of like her OTP, right? And then anyone else I think was.
I don't quite fall under that type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Asha.
All right, I'm back here.
Oh, you're just in time to back.
My mistress.
And yeah, remember, take it easy, guys. This is just for fun. Like, I mean, even when we had Elio on here, he enjoyed it. So don't make me pull Elio in here. He's online right now. Pull him in here.
Oh God.
Amin, what's your take on Daenerys?
Okay, not a marry, because not quite for me, but not Scorpion, so probably one-nighter. Okay. Careful one-nighter.
Oh, you know who's also online right now is Christian, is Hodor. I can't get his feel on this.
Special guest.
There you go.
So is Jason
Mimi
Walden.
will kill you.
Yo, Christian, would you sleep with these people? So...
we can pull Elio a little bit later though, like right after this, if you have any questions for him.
The episode will never end then.
Okay.
That's cool.
So he's like, yeah, that's what we do.
So what do you got, Sean? You're not a fan. What was your answer on Asha?
Oh, Asha. I'm gonna go with Mistress. I'll be perfectly honest with you, because the thing about Asha, as I said, even whatever my problems are with her combat in battle, her conduct in battle, no problems with her conduct in the bedroom apparently. So.
Exactly.
Go.
Good. I think you've become more lenient than you were before, because I think before you would have said Scorpion. This is excellent. You guys are taking it more easy here. Kick back.
Could we somehow block the wifeys from this podcast?
Oh, Elio says he wants in. I'm going to pull Elio in here.
All right.
Elio.
Just in time for his favorite section.
Hello.
Hey, Elio. How's it going?
Hey, Linda's here as well.
Hi.
Really?
Hello.
Hey!
Yay,
Oh, no,
no more
wife fucking
sausage
feet.
fest.
Yeah.
You'll be happy to know that we've decided that Linda would defeat you, Elio, in a fight. So congratulations, you two.
Well, this is absolutely true, so that's just fine.
Yeah, we said Linda's the Khaleesi and you're like her consort sort of thing, so it'll work out.
I've been like that.
That works for me.
Yeah.
There you go.
So you guys have actually podcasted together before, right?
We have, I think, right? Or no?
Yeah.
With us, you have.
Once or twice, I think.
Once or twice. Yeah. It's so many times. So many good times.
Oh,
Randomly pulled in.
And I'm glad we have Linda here because we definitely want her opinion on this. Right. So right now we're doing that. Elio's done this before. The whole marry, mistress, like salt boy, scorpions sort of thing. We're going through that again.
I don't need any mistresses.
And we just quickly went through Caitlin and Danny. So what do you two say about that?
What are the options again?
Marry / mistress / one night / scorpions on yourself.
Catelyn's a Mary.
Yeah.
And who's the other one?
Danny.
She's too young. I couldn't say.
Oh, everyone's been aged
Everyone's
up.
been aged up appropriately.
Everyone's
Yes,
been aged
that was
up to appropriate age.
She's not too young.
Or you've been aged down appropriately. So it's
We're gonna get Elio in trouble here.
After the various things I've read about the Targaryens, I think I'd run away.
Run away.
What about you, Linda?
Well, they're not really to my taste in that way. I know Catelyn and I would not get along one bit. We would be at each other's throats pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well, Danny and I might talk horses, I suppose, so we'd get along anyway.
Here we go.
Catelyn liked horses. The whole thing about her ponies and
yeah. I just have a feeling we wouldn't get along.
yeah.
Nice.
Okay. What about Asha?
I don't know. I have a thing about
Women with axes.
With axes.
So
I love
mistress
that
then,
she
if you
knows
have a
that.
thing
You won't let me have an axe, for example.
you have a thing against it. Oh, okay. I was a little.
You gotta live wild here, Elio. You know, there's potential.
That's really specific. How did that come about?
Ashley's
It's a long
what sorts of
story.
things?
It's various sharp objects that I'm not allowed to have.
That's
Valyrian
exactly
steel swords and things.
Yeah.
I like your icon on Skype right now, Elio. You're like a contemplative face there.
Yeah. I'm constantly contemplating. Right now, I'm constantly tired right now as well.
Oh, sorry about it. Okay, well, let's power through these then. Now that we're all caught up, we're on to Cersei.
one night.
You don't like blondes.
No. But George always said Nicole Kidman should play her. So, and you know my thing for Nicole Kidman. So, one night.
Into trouble here. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm going to go with one night as well.
Agreed.
I'm never letting you watch Ice White Shut again.
No.
She is tall. Nicole Kidman is a tall one. I tell you.
Well, I don't generally like the tall slender types.
You're changing your answer here, Elio. I think last time you said scorpions on her.
Did I? Well, then I was. Yeah. Well, this just shows how tired I am.
Nicole Kidman, then.
But yes, if it's Nicole Kidman.
Now his eyes are wide open about this.
What about you, Linda? First, Cersei.
Oh, dear God, I hate blondes.
And we live in Sweden where there's quite a lot of them, so
I constantly have people on the internet asking me are you a blonde? You're from Sweden? Like, no. So it's scorpions all the way.
And Ashley?
Fitting, I'm a Scorpio, so she gets the scorpions.
There you go.
What's your comment, Ashley?
Oh, one night. Because anything more, she'll get crazy.
Yeah. Okay. What about Melisandre?
Mistress.
I'm going with scorpions for Melisandre because
there's certain costs that come with that.
Now we know she's like old and using a glamour, so I'd be constantly afraid that it would be like that scene in The Shining where the woman gets out of the bathtub and he's macking on her and he looks in the mirror and it's like this decrepit old hag who's like rotting. So
I forgot about that. Ignorance is bliss.
I also go.
I don't think it's a glamour.
Yeah,
I think it might be one of those where all of a sudden her life force goes out and she crumbles to dust. But I don't think it's a glamour.
As such, no. One night. Yeah. I mean, she promises Davos.
We said that.
Pleasure. Yeah.
One night with shadow condoms was the answer last time.
Yeah. I don't want this to be like a 18 years. Got one of your kids, got you for 18 years kind of situation. One of your shadow babies.
She'll give you a son.
Kanye on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Let's be more fair here. We're saying all these women. We got to throw some men in here. So what about Oberyn?
Yeah, I'd like some men, thank you.
Yeah, Oberyn.
Oh,
Mary.
I'll take that one home. No question.
Oh man, Oberyn's a wild one. That'd have been venture and a half. Jeez.
Exactly.
That's the point.
You know what? You only live once. I'm going with a one night with Oberyn.
Here we go.
With Oberyn, I fear he would enjoy it.
I'd say it was one night.
Oberyn better enjoy it.
It's like
Oberyn will like the scorpions.
Both ways.
So
okay, can I?
What?
Can I join in?
All right. Well, we're doing the whole Dornish thing. So what about Darkstar?
Oh my goodness.
I'm not touching it.
I'll go with that. Yeah. Scorpion.
There was this scene on the HBO show Girls last week where there's this artist character played by Yorma from The Lonely Island who's like this badass, like, really cocky, dangerous bad boy artist. And then like when she finally actually has sex with him, he's like all weird and he has like a doll and he's like, look at the doll. Tell me how the doll is feeling. And I feel like that's what Sex with the Darkstar would be. So.
Oh my god, that scene was so embarrassingly awful. I saw that one, yeah.
That's my vision of Sex with the Darkstar. So scorpions
he's
for me.
He's like the most handsome guy or something, though, right? And he's got that.
Yeah, I'll take some actual Valyrians. I mean, he's supposed to be almost good looking enough to be one. I'll take some actual ones.
Why?
Well, because they're even
all good looking.
Well, a lot of them are.
I suppose. Serious to cutting.
Yeah. Just imagine him in bed. I'm Darkstar. I'm of the night.
Does that mean he's Christian Bale?
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a quick side note before we continue. We actually came up with our ideal Kingsguard.
Oh no!
And this is what
Don't
it is.
Embarrass us.
So we have Barristan, Jaime, Loras, Santagar, Brienne, Hound, and Mance Rayder. So what do you think?
Why are you also surprised? He's a good choice.
Good choice.
Well, besides the old oath breaking thing, you kind of like, why would you?
We have Jaime on
there. Yeah, we're going for consistency here on the oath breaking.
And then the Hound, of course, he's. But Brienne, I can stick. Yeah, sure.
No, Brienne's gonna be loyal as hell, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Now back to the list. Lady Dustin.
Well, that's a Scorpion's one there. I mean, she is a bitter woman.
Any other opinions?
Yeah, well, if Lady Dustin was played by Helen Mirren or something.
Oh, Helen Mirren. Oh, yeah.
Now I'm looking that person up.
She is a sexy older woman. Oh.
Yeah, well, when John Boorman was filming Excalibur, and he has admitted that he was kind of obsessed with her breasts, and he might be.
I cannot blame him for that.
We saw with some old interviews.
Oh, with Parkinson, the old Parkinson interview where she was. She's a unique lady.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you see the Saturday? Did anyone see the Saturday Night Live with her as a host?
I have not seen that one.
Oh, I think half the sketches were about her breast.
No lady that's in love here.
She's
doesn't come
bitter.
off terribly. She's pretty bitter.
Yeah.
Well, you can turn that to something positive.
If I were an optimist like a meme, possibly I could.
All right. I put the list. If anything else you want to mention is there. Otherwise, we're done. Jaquin for the ladies.
The red and white hair.
Mistress.
A little too quirky.
Can he change?
Another.
Can he change into a woman?
There you go. He can change it to whatever he
Change
wants.
his face into a woman's face, but
the rest of him, I don't know. He's a weird dude. Linda's right. He's an odd duck.
What about Jacob from TV show though? He was pretty popular on our
The
forum.
faceless men are probably into some really kinky stuff too.
Probably well trained.
Actually, Linda, I was wondering, are you a Hound fan or you're not a Hound fan?
Not a Hound fan at all.
Right,
I like the fact that he likes the horse. That's his one saving grace. But I can't do someone who is so bitter and down on the whole chivalry thing. It's like I'm like Sansa, and that like why are you so down on everything? He's got his reasons, but nah, I can't quite.
Yeah. Ashley, your response to that?
People can have their opinions. More Hound for me.
They may be wrong, but
the
they
Hound
can
is
have
for
them.
me, so she'll take it.
And he's not pretty. They've got to be dead pretty for me.
How about Dario then? Because Danny thinks.
Yeah. What about Dario?
I don't do dyed.
Blue hair.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the gold tooth isn't a problem.
Well, the gold tooth is not a good idea either now.
Here you go, Linda.
And a trident.
Oh yeah, send him that picture from.
I'll have myself, a Targaryen like Rhaegar or something. That's pretty.
Yeah, we didn't mention Rhaegar on here before. Rhaegar.
I'll take him home as well.
But he's not very loyal. He runs off with somebody else.
But it's prophecy.
Fate of the world.
Prophecy. It was a prophecy.
Yeah, man. Can't be possessive in a situation like that.
I have to use that next time I'm in trouble.
What?
Stefan. Stefan gets in trouble a lot.
Yeah, that's your excuse now. It was the prophecy.
Rhaegar's a romantic.
And he played the harp and sang and made everyone sad and like.
Yeah, that's what you want in bed.
All right. Well, we're going to be consistent with Stefan's choices here. What about Edmure?
Yeah, Stefan, this is where the rubber meets the road for you, buddy.
I'm not into bearded men. That's a problem.
Oh, that is a real problem in these books. Yeah.
What's really wrong with Edmure as such?
Nobody's got a beard. As I said, that's.
Oh well, I mean, I'm sure there are many women in Westeros who appreciate a man of a fine beard. So
didn't he have some
problem? So
right? Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't he have some erectile dysfunction issues?
What?
He drank too much.
I kind of remember that too.
The floppy
fish, yeah.
Right.
No.
I think that was him drinking and carousing, and then he couldn't perform. So, otherwise, he likes the ladies quite a bit. He wouldn't be very faithful, I suppose.
Probably not.
all right.
Trust the redheads.
Ashara Dane.
Oh, that's a Mary.
Yeah.
Probably.
Mary.
I mean,
Mary.
dark hair and violet eyes.
Put her near a tower. It's all good.
I see. So you'd run off with Elizabeth Taylor.
Well, not
She was
now.
young.
Not now.
Jeez.
Well, now she's not running anywhere, is she?
Exactly. But back in the day, she was quite beautiful. Sure.
Yeah, yes, she was. Just
And I mean, she obviously, way back, George actually pointed out when people said, are Dane's Valyrian because of the purple eyes? Well, he pointed out, Elizabeth Taylor has violet eyes, and, she's on a Targaryen, last I saw. So that should have been a hint that, she is dark. She's basically the Elizabeth Taylor of this period, as far as looks, as far as George's vision is.
Well, that was lucky for Ned, wasn't it? For Ned.
Does that make Barristan sell me like Richard Burton?
Well, or is that Ned is Richard Burton, but I can't see that one.
All right, ladies.
I want to tackle Chili.
Yeah, who would you choose, Ned or Brandon or Benjen?
Benjen.
What? Reasons, please. Okay.
He's not an asshole and he's not uptight.
Yeah, I mean, Ned's a bit too uptight. Benjen,
He swore vows of celibacy. I don't think you really have to.
No, but Brandon seems like a lot of fun, and hey, he also liked horses. That's a big thing.
Yeah,
that's true.
But Ned can produce aching loins, so
I was well. Yeah. I mean, if I'm going for it, I'm going for the gusto. I want some loin aching action by the end of it.
There you go.
You can get that from a horse too.
Oh, whoa!
It just proves that she wasn't satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they were aching. And Benjen's hands are way too cold.
Wait, the aching meant she wasn't satisfied?
Yeah, exactly. It could be the wrong side of it.
I don't think that was.
They weren't yearning
After
loins.
2 minutes, and I wanted 20.
Oh, actually, there was like a chapter reread where we found out that Ned is pretty quick, so
Oh, jeez.
that could be a consistent problem. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we added a Master of Horse to the council. So who would you choose, Elio and Linda, for Master of Horse?
Horse or horse?
Horse. We chose
W.
Chataya. So somebody's okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Chataya seems a perfectly reasonable choice. Get experience.
Well, no, I think you'd pick Oberyn, right?
No, because he'd stamp all the wares.
Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Quality control. I suppose.
You test them all out, yeah. Somebody just bolded Gilly on like the list. Like, who the hell made it like massive text Gilly? Like
Me.
I'm gonna have to go with that Oberyn thing because he'd make it. There'd be guys in there now too.
Oh, this is true.
This is true.
Equal opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Okay, so back to the list though. What about Gilly then? Since you seem to want that reviewed, Gilly. I don't like Gilly. I think she's overrated.
She's
Is
nice.
that Stefan who put that?
Yeah, that was me. I like Gilly. I really like her.
You guys both like Gilly because Kyle's a Gilly supporter.
Well, yeah, I was I didn't have, within the books, I was like, whatever, on the fence and everything. But that beautiful doe-eyed actress they got in the show, I was like, oh my God. This girl's beautiful.
I'll go with
I don't know. I think they maybe captured the inbreeding angle a little much there, the way they had her act.
She was good acting, even.
Yes.
What about that like girl on the ship with Theon?
Poor sweet woman would be misled by Theon.
Yeah, but she's carrying the heir to the Iron Island, so it's all good.
Yeah.
All right, I guess that we're probably winding down. Any other names? Otherwise, I think we're done. We don't want to keep them too long.
Who's a big name?
Brienne?
Wife.
Yeah, well, she'd make a loyal wife, I suppose.
She'd protect you.
She could defend you.
Yes,
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
And Westeros kind of needs that.
This is Brienne at the start of the books, by the way, not at the very
Right.
end.
Well, and she has pretty eyes, and that's important
Yes.
when you're sitting around
Yes.
when you're sitting around like watching
Each other's eyes.
The Young and the Restless or whatever on a Saturday afternoon, and you look over and she looks at you, and it's all like, oh,
Okay.
One night.
You're
One
creeping
nighter.
me out.
Which is a Brienne love here. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
John,
for joining us.
one last one I'll toss
Yeah,
out
go
there. John Connington.
Oh.
And now he's gay, so the men can respond to this one as well.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, he's so
With or without
possessive of
grayscale?
Rhaegar. He can't steal Rhaegar from me.
Right. As long as we're not getting a hand job from him from that hand.
And he really doesn't seem like the sharing type.
No, that's true.
Because otherwise, maybe we could share, but I'm open to that.
He seems like marriage material. I don't know.
Ashley's not saying anything. Ashley, what do you? She's went to her
seems
bunk.
Kind of uptight.
He's got a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
Well, you can help loosen that. It's all good.
No.
Yeah,
He can do that on his own.
don't you want a project to work on, Ashley?
We're very lacking on Essos in this list. I feel sorry about Essos. It's like we're so Westeros biased here than this whole Oriental thing.
Serial Pharrell. I mean, if you can have an alt.sex.stories.sexy bald captains, I'm pretty sure you can have a
alt.sex stories sexy bald Bravosi.
Bravosi sword masters.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just so.
Yeah, I like long hair.
There you go.
Or any hair, really. And
Yeah, but ideally like
You don't
mid-back.
like the shave pates, then.
the shave pates.
Nah.
What about
No,
that
no,
guy with the big hair? No, Danny's husband.
Oh,
I
yeah.
also don't like hair that's standing straight up in ornamental decorations like a Christmas
Why are you so
tree.
picky, Linda? You feel like turn down 9 out of 10.
Incredibly picky.
I'm picky.
How she ended up with me, I do not know.
You're lucky,
That's her
you're lucky.
misfortune and my good
It's
fortune.
the
so.
ponytail. It's a
Imagine.
ponytail.
Or the lack of people in the East.
The East is
Well, there's probably a lot of people in the East.
Well,
but,
there's a lack of, no one asked, Grey Worm.
And
Yeah.
no, Miss Sandy is a bit on the
She's
young
too young.
We're
side.
not getting into like sweets or something like that. We're moving.
Yeah, because
Could be for those with very particular
the
interests.
tastes. Yeah, sure. Oh, wait a minute. Drogo is an obvious choice.
Here we go.
Drogo.
He's got a mustache and no manners.
Well, you
He's
can
a
shave
manly
it. You can shave it
man.
while he's sleeping or something.
I want that
And
whole
he's,
boatload of
too
girls.
tall
that
and
Victorian burned
muscular.
down.
And...
Well, Linda, if you didn't get Tumblr hate already, you're gonna get Tumblr hate for all these objections.
I should hope so.
I was saying,
All
I
right.
want that whole boatload of girls that Victorian burned down.
Oh, yeah.
You can sponsor them to bring them over. Yeah.
There you go.
Victorian has issues.
Yeah.
That
Yes,
was
the
hilarious.
Ashley likes Victorian, by the way. She's like,
Ashley, what are we
does.
going to do with you?
in a sexual way.
You do actually.
is-
It's a purely physical thing.
a physical sort of the macho, uber macho alpha male kind of thing.
She's consistent. Just like the burn men. It's like the hound is a bird face and then burn hand. So
This is troubling.
keep that in
Well,
mind.
that
for
leaves the pretty
extra.
ones for me.
There we
The
go.
sensitive ones.
All right, y'all. I have a train to catch, but
Okay,
it's
all
been real.
All
This is a pleasure. And Elio and Linda, I'm glad I got to do this ridiculousness with you guys, too.
Oh yeah, our pleasure.
All right. Thanks.
I'll talk to everyone later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a
bye.
lot, Sean. Take care.
Later. Bye-bye.
Okay, well, thanks for joining us. I don't want to keep you up.
Our
Later.
pleasure.
Oh yeah, we've got crazy hours.
You're always welcome to join us on a podcast. So we will pull you in.
Yeah, sure. We're always happy
Absolutely, it's
to.
always fun.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
Okay, so now we have. Too bad. Oops. Did that work?
Stefan's still here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Too bad.
Yeah.
He ran away. Like Sean ran away before he could do the deserted island question. Well, that's kind of really relevant now. So screw that. Yeah.
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 Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what they
Thank you
wanted.
for
They wanted
sticking
like
to
a, casual show, just taking it easy sort of thing, and that's
Still-
what it was.
Yeah, so thanks again for the invitation.
Okay, we'll let you know when we get the episode out. We'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's yours.
Thanks, Stefan. It was so
Thank
nice chatting
you.
with
Yeah, thanks, you too. Then I wish you a nice evening, I guess. It's past 11 now here, so I think I will go straight to bed.
All
you. There you
right.
go. Have a great night, Stefan.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
That they are 100th listed episode or are 100th or like 99th, because we have that one episode that's 2 episodes.
I know, but that
right?
one episode I was looking at it. It was recorded one time. We just cut it in half because it split. It
So
was
we're actually at 98.
like the one we just recorded was 98. Yeah, like because I count that as one episode. The one before we cut it in half, but it was one record time. We just split it in half. So and we're numbered 98. Like this one that we just recorded is 98. But yeah,
Number
even if we
98,
record,
but we're technically at 97.
well, if you go by just like A and B, then we're at 99. That was 99.
Oh,
But,
okay. I get what you said.
But I'm going with
Got
just the numbering system we've been using. This is 98 that we just recorded.
All right. Well, if we're taking a break, I
Take a
have to
break,
run
yeah.
down to the supermarket and grab some lunch. So.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So
I
we're
need to
going to
get-
reconvene in an hour then, or
Well, I'm still waiting to hear back from.
yeah, if
me.
you hear what back, just message us on here. Like I'll be around. Just be
Yeah,
I'll
if there's
keep my Skype on.
okay, yeah, and we'll just I'll keep attention to my email, so
Okay,
you can reach me via that.
all right.
All right, guys. Yo,
Hey, how's it going?
pretty good. How are you?
Good. Cool, man. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, are we just doing like a guys' night out thing kind of thing?
Well, we're
or-
not gonna call it that. We're just gonna call it boiled leather. Like
Yeah, we weren't supposed to read anything, right? Because I was looking at the emails, like I don't see any
no,
chapters.
there's no like prep reading for this. It's just
No,
the
but
topic.
there's tons of reading for the episode later today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got halfway through that. I'm like, I'll have time later.
Hey, I thought you already read the Mystery Night.
Well, I've read that. I haven't read the full of the S.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm about halfway through, but I got distracted by internets.
Oh yeah.
okay, so I'll pull them in. I don't know if you've talked with that. No,
I haven't.
No, I think you might have met Stefan at one of the guys' night outs. Although I don't know if you were at the same time there, but they're good people, so I'll pull them in, and we'll get started. See.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi. All right, we're back.
good.
Hey.
I love the excitement of multiple people Skypes where there's like a solid minute of hey, hi, hello.
I am.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Ashley and Kyle, it's very, very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, sir.
Yeah,
I'm a big-
say the same. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yes, same.
Well, I guess I can probably save all the fawning about what a big fan I am to when we actually start recording. And
Yeah. we want to get that in there.
I'll get my
Very
recorder going.
Third. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll do our regular intro, and then I'll be like, we're joined by two special guests, Sean and Stefan. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, and then whatever order. What do you usually go first, Sean or Stefan, or what?
we alternate.
Yeah. So.
Hey, I mean, if you want me to record, I have to restart my Skype.
Okay. Well, if Kyle's recording, we should be okay. But do you have your recorder open, Kyle, or?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so that won't bother.
That won't bother. Like, if you guys have your recorders open, you can do as well. The one time we did a Guys Night Out, the second one, and we had like 5 people, and we still lost part of the episode.
Oh, really?
It's like the best part, too. Was the
Very professional.
See, that's why. It's because everyone thinks they can stop recording, and then they don't think to put it back on.
Oh, you gotta just leave it recording all the way through. All right, so we'll do that. You'll say everything, and then we'll just jump into the topics here. Let's see. I got the file open. Ashley, did you get the document file?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
I started reading it and got confused. I was like, I'll figure it out later.
Seems to be an
Why not?
Ashley thing.
Is somebody typing something?
I am typing something. Yeah, I just saw that Mimi received Tumblr hate. I hadn't seen that bit before. And it was something I was thinking about a lot when I was listening to the show with Ours is the Fury and talking about Tumblr. So.
Sure. Well, we'll definitely talk about that. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the earlier questions here.
Yeah.
And once we get into it, especially, it's a lot less structured than. I mean, it's structured, but I mean, like, it's just kind of a free for all. So just chime in, talks, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Nobody really talks for more than 3 minutes at a time. So.
Okay. All right. And
That's really something.
I have a train to catch that I will need to leave for in almost exactly 2 hours from this very minute. So,
Excellent.
So that to give you guys some idea of when I will be bailing come hell or high water. So.
Yeah.
That's more than enough
Okay.
time.
And I actually I'm waiting for a phone call. That'll only take a couple minutes, but I have to go deal with it if it comes up. So
Okay.
just roll with that.
Do you have the link to the file again where we have the
Yep.
schedule?
I put the link in here.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Can you hear Stefan okay? He seems a little quiet. Let's see.
I can hear him.
He's a little quiet on my end.
Okay, let's try something.
That's better, yeah.
Is it
Oh,
there?
wow.
There we go.
Now it's like you're whispering into my ear. I love it.
Ooh.
Is he whispering sweet nothings into your ear?
Yes, of course.
Always. It is more kind of a platonic thing,
Yeah.
but
Is it boiled leather like in the mountain or something? Or
we could write some fanfic about it.
Yes.
oh, Ashley, I don't know. I'll say this. This will be in the after show anyway. So you know how we were talking about the Maesters and stuff. Like last time we were talking about like Marwyn and Lewin. All those guys might have been in the same class. Somebody's already written fan fiction for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Because of what we said. Like they didn't.
Oh, they have to link it.
Yeah. Well, they did. It's in the forums.
Oh.
Okay.
There should be boiled leather fanfic though. Someone out there should ship Steph Sean. I think that's a great idea.
Where in
Yeah.
the forums is it? I
I think
see it.
Michal is already doing that probably, but.
I'm
Okay.
not so sure.
Yeah, he couldn't even handle that bathtub picture.
That was intense, gotta say.
All right. I'm going to do the intro here. We're all got recorders running.
All set.
And yep.
Okay.